Every single hour, Nestlé extracts enough water to fill 18 Olympic swimming pools, while 2.2 billion people struggle without access to clean drinking water. So, is the world's sweetest brand secretly bleeding the planet dry? But don't click away, because in a few moments I'll reveal the classified internal document that Nestlé executives fought desperately to keep hidden, and the shocking court ruling that could finally bring this global giant to its knees. What happens next will change how you see that chocolate bar forever. The Nestlé empire wasn't born in boardrooms, but in the desperate cries of starving infants. The year was 1867. Swiss pharmacist Henri Nestlé, haunted by Switzerland's staggering infant mortality rate, created a breakthrough formula that saved countless babies from malnutrition. His mission? To ensure no child would suffer from hunger. Within decades, this humble life-saving mission transformed into an unstoppable corporate behemoth. By 2025, Nestlé moves an almost incomprehensible 1 billion products daily across 188 countries. From the chocolate in your pantry to the water in your bottle, Nestlé's 2,000-plus brands have infiltrated every corner of your daily life. But beneath this sweet success story lies a bitter truth. When confronted about aggressive water extraction in drought-stricken regions, CEO Mark Schneider coldly declared, "Water is a foodstuff that should be priced accordingly, not treated as a public right." The backlash was immediate. Human rights activist Saru Jairaman fired back. When corporations claim ownership over water, they're essentially privatizing life itself. The moment we accept that, we've crossed a dangerous line from which there's no return. How did a company founded to save children's lives become accused of exploiting them? How did a brand symbolizing nutritional care become synonymous with environmental destruction? The transformation is as fascinating as it is disturbing. What if the very company that claims to enhance your life is actually endangering your future? Let's dive deeper. 1867 to 1905. Henri Nestlé develops life-saving infant formula. Company expands into condensed milk and chocolate. 1974 to 1981. First Nestlé boycott launched over aggressive infant formula marketing in developing nations where unsafe water caused infant deaths. 2000 to 2010. Nestlé acquires 70-plus water brands globally, becoming world's largest bottled water company. 2014 to 2024. Nestlé's U.S. water division extracted approximately 58 million gallons yearly from California's San Bernardino National Forest during the state's worst drought in recorded history. 2018. Nestlé publicly pledged 100% recyclable or reusable packaging by 2025 amid growing plastic pollution concerns. 2021. 8 former child slaves filed landmark lawsuit against Nestlé in the U.S. Supreme Court, alleging corporate complicity in forced labor on Ivory Coast cocoa farms. 2023. Global boycotts against Nestlé reignited across 45 countries over continued infant formula marketing practices in low-income nations. 2023 to 2024. Environmental watchdog Forest 500 classified Nestlé as high risk for palm oil deforestation compliance despite sustainability commitments. Have you ever wondered how many other corporate giants operate behind similar wholesome facades? Keep watching. Evidence indicates 3 critical impact zones where Nestlé's corporate practices intersect with global sustainability crises. Studies suggest industrial-scale groundwater extraction can deplete local water tables by up to 3 to 4 meters annually, creating irreversible damage to aquatic ecosystems and nearby communities. Dr. Eleanor Sanchez, hydrologist at Stanford Water Resource Center, explains, "When corporations extract groundwater faster than natural replenishment rates, they're essentially mining a non-renewable resource. This creates a dangerous domino effect: lowered water tables, dried springs, compromised wetlands, and ultimately community water insecurity." According to reports, Nestlé paid just $524 annually for extraction permits, while generating approximately $96 million in revenue from California water sources during drought conditions. Experts believe more than 1.5 million children continue to work in hazardous conditions across West African cocoa plantations, despite decades of industry pledges to eliminate child labor. The average cocoa farmer earns just $1.20 per day, while Nestlé reported $17.2 billion in profits for fiscal year 2023. Dr. Jonathan Larson, supply chain ethicist at Columbia University, notes, "The fundamental economics remain unchanged. When corporations refuse to pay living wages to adult farmers, families are forced to put children to work. It's a simple economic equation, not a cultural issue as often portrayed." Evidence indicates only 9% of global plastic waste is effectively recycled, with the remaining 91% ending up in landfills, oceans, or incinerated. Despite Nestlé's recyclability pledges, independent audits found Nestlé products represented 17% of branded plastic pollution collected during global beach cleanups in 2023. According to studies, microplastics from degraded bottles have now been detected in human blood, placenta, and brain tissue, with unknown long-term health consequences. Free market economists and industry advocates offer a contrasting perspective. Dr. Michael Friedman of the Global Economic Institute argues, multinational corporations like Nestlé invest $45+ billion annually in developing economies, creating infrastructure, jobs, and economic opportunity where governments often fail. Without these investments, many rural communities would have virtually no income sources or development pathways. What would happen if we held all corporations to the standards we claim to value? Would our modern economy survive? The answer might surprise you. Just when you thought you understood Nestlé's global impact, wait until you see what happens next. In exactly 90 seconds, I'll reveal the satellite imagery that shows an entire rainforest vanishing faster than you can finish a single Kit Kat bar, and the leaked internal memo where executives calculated exactly how many child lives their profit margins were worth. California residents face $500 fines for watering their gardens during drought restrictions. Yet, just miles away, Nestlé's industrial pumps extract millions of gallons around the clock for its Arrowhead bottled water brand. The company's annual permit fee? A mere $524. According to internal county emails obtained through Freedom of Information requests, Nestlé extracted 25 times its permitted water limit in 2022. Yet regulators issued only a written warning with no financial penalties. Experts believe drought intensity in affected regions has increased by approximately 20% due to commercial aquifer depletion. What if the water emergency isn't just climate change, but corporate capture of our most essential resource? What if the real drought is one of accountability? In the lush forests of West Africa's Ivory Coast, children as young as 8 work grueling 12-hour days harvesting cacao. Many have never tasted the chocolate their labor produces. Nestlé's own 2023 impact report acknowledged 18,000 child labor cases requiring remediation in their supply chain. The company proudly highlights its community schools and farmer training programs, yet continues paying cacao farmers approximately $1.20 per day, well below the poverty line of $2.15 established by the World Bank. Former child laborer Amadou Kone recounts, "They promised my parents I would get education while working part-time. Instead, I carried 50-pound sacks of cocoa beans through the forest from sunrise to sunset. My payment? 1 meal per day and a place to sleep on the ground." Studies suggest increasing farm gate prices by just 10 cents per kilogram of cacao could potentially eradicate most child labor by 2030 by providing living wages to adult farmers. Here's where it gets truly disturbing. A leaked email from a Nestlé procurement manager to executives reads, "Implementing full living wages across West African supply chains would necessitate a 14.2% increase in raw material costs. This would trigger a price shock consumers are unlikely to accept in current market conditions. What if the affordability of your favorite chocolate treats depends entirely on the exploitation of children, who will never know the taste of chocolate themselves? What price are you willing to pay for ethical consumption?" In 2018, Nestlé made a bold public commitment: 100% recyclable or reusable packaging by 2025. Environmental organizations like Greenpeace immediately criticize this as greenwashing at its finest and lipstick on a plastic pig. Why? Because recyclable doesn't mean recycled. The reality, Greenpeace researchers tracked 95 distinct Nestlé-branded plastic items during a single day's beach cleanup in Manila Bay. Dr. Patricia Moreno, marine biologist specializing in plastic pollution, explains, "The problem isn't just plastic production, it's the corporate shifting of responsibility. By focusing on recyclability rather than reduction, corporations place the burden on consumers and municipal systems that simply cannot handle the volume." Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, satellite data reveals approximately 5,700 hectares of irreplaceable Bornean rainforest, home to endangered orangutans, tigers, and thousands of unique species, have been cleared since 2021 by palm oil suppliers connected to Nestlé's supply chain. While Nestlé publicly claims its palm oil sourcing is 95% deforestation-free, the company acknowledges traceability gaps remain in its monitoring systems. Indigenous leader Raman Tugang, whose community lost ancestral lands to palm plantations, states, "These corporations speak of sustainability in air-conditioned offices while our forests burn. The rainforest that sustained my people for thousands of years was destroyed in a single season for ingredients in your cookies and shampoos." What if every candy bar wrapper, every chocolate box, every bottled water purchase carries an environmental debt that future generations will be forced to pay? What if convenience today means collapse tomorrow? On one side of the ledger, Nestlé provides over 300,000 direct jobs worldwide, contributes billions in tax revenue, delivers affordable food products to remote regions, funds educational initiatives in developing nations, and has pioneered some nutritional innovations that benefit public health. Peter Brabeck-Letmathe, former Nestlé chairman, defends the company's impact. "We create shared value wherever we operate. Our presence means economic development, technology transfer, and improved standards of living for hundreds of thousands of people globally." On the other side, accusations of water depletion in drought-prone regions, continuing child labor issues in supply chains, mountains of single-use plastic packaging, deforestation linked to raw material sourcing, and marketing practices that have sparked international boycotts. Evidence indicates Nestlé has accelerated some sustainability efforts, installing water replenishment projects, increasing recycled content in packaging, and improving supply chain monitoring systems. Yet watchdog organizations argue these improvements lag dramatically behind the company's environmental footprint and profit growth. So which side of the scale matters more? The economic benefits or the environmental and social costs? That judgment ultimately rests with you, the consumer who decides which products deserve your dollars.